We do, and you want to start here, Rick?
I say instead of doing fight deals, just showing how it's done by camera angle. So nobody has to move fast. I got a bad neck, you got a bad neck. First of all, I'm old. So everybody just like put the camera, put the other camera, put it in. If we're punching you out, how you go back and
Sure.
that kind of stuff, right? Very simple.
Probably the camera angle is the most important thing about doing a stunt fight. And there's a lot of little tricks that you don't really think too much about. If you see two guys get it, you'll be the camera angle. Excuse me. It won't work all over the room, but let's say dead center is the camera. We're always aware of where the camera is. And we get into a fight, we grab each other and turn. You'll see stunt guys, can you get down on one knee anymore? They're down. For instance, this, and they'll always pull their guy up, usually, and turn him so that they can take the punch for the camera. The camera has no depth perception. So I would turn him around and I reach way back here and telegraph it. Here it comes, coming right by his jaw, and he takes the punch. Now you can see if you turn like this, how that does not work. I throw the punch, and you see light between us. So you guys are going to fight. And if you have things like the stomach punch. I tried it out yesterday, and but you ready? He sells the whole thing. You might hear a little grunt out of me, but he sells it with his reaction. But that you don't want to see that. Usually with stomach punch, you'll come in and make contact. But then you bring him down. I'm gonna knee him in the face. Good. You guys do a little here. I'm already worn out.
Slow motion.
All right, we'll do the slow motion. Okay, do the backflip and then.
Airbags.
I think you'll get a bump for that. Kick him in the crotch.
It's the same thing.
Yes, so we got you like to move you this way. And then come like that, and take it there, right? And here, and they can't even see it. That looks like you're doing it.
Adding the sound effects is everything.
Yeah.
With a gun, somebody asked me yesterday, the gun, the camera angle there with a gun is very important because if we're close, especially, and I pull a gun on him, like I said, no perception with the camera. I can stand hitting him with the camera big, but I'm going to be pointing the gun over this way so the blank's going past him here.
Yeah.
Because the blanks really can hurt badly. A lot of
They
guys
can
have
kill
hurt.
you.
The
Some guys
blank can
don't.
actually kill you at close
Right,
range.
right. So you can be very
Full of
careful.
light.
If you're in a distance, no problem. I remember one time I got on the horse, the doctor told me to do a Pony Express, got on the horse, but Carl Petty set me up on that one. And I jumped on the horse to the Pony Express, the doctor says, hold the gun, shoot, hold the gun, shot horse right between your friggin' ears. The horse dropped all the way down the street.
Yeah,
So you gotta be careful with those blanks.
Yeah.
That's something that happens quite often. You'll see, and it happened to me on High Chaparral. We made 100 runs by camera, 50 mounted horses, and regularly everybody's shooting. We're chasing the Indians. Everyone's shooting, and about the first time, if you watch the whole crowd out there, quite often you'll see someone fire right between the horse's ears and get bucked right over his head, come off right and left. It happens at all the crowd scenes. Watch the ones in the back. They maybe don't ride so well or whatever. Maybe they're riding bareback. They're sliding off everywhere. I love to watch the old movies because there are people falling off all over the place. paid for it.
Hey, so I got a question for you. Sometimes when you had a big fight scene, let's say, there's times when I mean, I know it's choreographed, but I'm sure that there's times that people miss. They just over.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Y'all, I mean, is there something about that you could share that, you know, that a particular scene that you remember?
You go ahead, one.
I had a terrible scene with William Shatner. William Shatner is really macho, he thinks.
In the hallway. It was in the hallway.
I shouldn't be that way, I'd be nice. But it was, I think, one of the first, I did Star Trek for 3 seasons and worked with the guys almost daily. And the first show, my introduction to the show was a fight scene. I had some small part or something, and Bill's gonna beat me up. But we're doing the fight, and the first punch he throws, boom! And he knocked me halfway across the room. And I stopped the whole thing, said, wait a minute, Bill, you do not. I started to explain, hell, I know what I'm doing. I said, Bill, you don't have to come so close. You know, and then I demonstrated, I said, you know, you can pass 6, 8 inches away and not hurt anybody. Hey, well, one of the worst things you can say about a guy doing a stunt is he hurt somebody. Because that's really, you're looking out for your partner as well as yourself. But mainly you look after your partner, he looks after you. And see to it that you don't do anything that's gonna knock all his teeth out. But I told him the first time, he got very angry. And said, okay, all right, let's go. Let's shoot it again. So we go, comes around, boom! He hit me really good this time. And I stopped it again. I was very upset. The cameraman, well, he's swearing he didn't hit me. He did it a 3rd time, he hit me again. And the cameraman jumped off the camera and grabbed Bill and said, look, you did hit him. I'm sitting right here, I've got my eye on it, I've seen it every time, you did hit him. In his defense, he didn't know he was hitting me. He didn't hit me with the fist, he was hitting me with his elbow coming around. He was trying his best, but he didn't look out for the elbow. And fortunately, he was wearing elbow pads under the shirt and everything, so, you know, I wasn't hurt bad. I was just, I was angry more than anything. And well, that was one time when things went bad, and we was, you know, just a small thing, but that kind of thing happened pretty regularly. But most of your actors are willing to, they know what they're an expert in. That's acting. And they leave it up to the stunt guys to make them look good if they can. And we appreciate it. But I don't know of too many things. Mitch, what?
I have a question for you guys. I think it'd be great to hear from each one of you. What was your most dangerous stunt that you've done, where either your most favorite, or the most dangerous thing that you've had to do?
I think we did that last night.
Oh, we'll get together later then.
But that's okay. That's okay.
But
Sure.
Bonanza or otherwise?
Pardon?
Just Bonanza related or?
No, I just in your careers.
Probably the most. Yes, ma'am.
So in a bar scene where there's a brawl going on, how long would it take to choreograph as the actors and the stuntmen are going, like one person's being thrown from one person to another? How long would it take to choreograph that out before it could be
Not really long. If you have an idea what you want to do, you know, it's really like a dance. You know, you start a barroom fight and you're over here. Oh, break the microphone. It's bad, by the way. But you know, you go, you throw, and you move. You'll move all around, but everything is worked out. Here, there, back. You know, it's like a dance more than anything else. Yes, Mitch. Well, mine was beside the picture. It was a 40-foot fall through the glass, and it hadn't been done before. I had never done it. It was a blind fall. I had to fall backwards all the way to the ground, and that was pretty spooky. I told them we're going to do it one time. If I get up the nerve when I get up there. So we ran 7 cameras, and made sure we caught it.
Oh, that's very memorable too.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie, absolutely.
We then did, there were a few on a few different ones. I don't think I ever got hurt or even came close on Bonanza. I mean, Bonanza, somehow I got known for bullwhips, and every time I played the same character on Bonanza several different times, or the whip man. And so that was pretty easy, really. Whips are, the bull whips, sometimes people are wondering how you can, like last night in the Kingdom of Fear, I beat Hoss. And you wonder how you can lay that whip on someone and not hurt them. The tip of that whip, the sound that you hear, breaks the sound barrier. It's 750 mile an hour plus the tip of the whip. And what happens is you throw a curl into the whip, and it works its speed up until it gets to the very end. And just the last inch of that popper breaks the sound barrier. Cuts a hole in the ear, hair slams together, just like a jet plane. It is a very dangerous weapon in the wrong hands or the right hands. But if I'm gonna hit someone, like we call it a wrap, which I did mostly with Dan, you straighten that out, put all the power about 2 inches from the body or the head. The power's here, and then it wraps. That's the movie version of, and that's not the way you would whip someone. The way you would whip someone was lay it on, but it's moves. So you hear the sound, and it's so quick, it wraps, and you don't know the difference. Hopefully. These guys, I appreciate them so much. They have done, last night, the fall in that header you took for the little girl. Yes. That was a record. That was not planned to be that way, I'm sure. That was a record. And he came off the front end of the horse onto his head and shoulders. Could have been hurt extremely bad. You always want to look out for your neck and your head. And this guy, been around as long as I have, longer than I have. You're older than I am. 6 weeks or so. But I mean, it's on the set every day, doing whatever they were asked to do, and never complaining. And okay.
I think this is funny anyway. We're doing the scene with Michael and Candy. And I'm playing Candy, and Burton's playing Michael. And we're doing the Indian thing on the side. You can't see the Indian on the side. We're playing him. We're coming up, and these guys are bad guys are inside the house. So we're coming up here on the horses, and we get to the horses turn, and we come off. Well, Burton goes off, and he kind of just hesitates. Now I'm already going off too, and of course, I still fall on my face, and I'm crawling through to the door, and the director says, "You always crawl, Ray, going through the house, to the door." But when they left it, because the next scene is the door's opening, and it worked. Kind of an embarrassing moment. I didn't know. Bonanza was, huh? Yeah, on that one, yeah, Bonanza was simple. It wasn't bad. Huh? Yeah, like I was saying, they weren't really a lot of, I'm not a high man. I did fall off the top of the barn. I had to walk across the top of the barn, walk into the hay pile, and small falls. And
You told me about you and I working a park one time. I don't know.
yeah, we went to a park, but you did the whip thing on it, you know.
And I don't even remember.
I thought the most dangerous one was the picture I gave you guys last night, because I'm jumping into the back of a wagon, it has no fenders on it, and the wheels are just right above the buckboard. And the buckboard is frames about that way, right?
Right.
Huh? Not very well.
No.
And I got to jump in front of the driver, in front of the lady driving it, to end off in the back, and when I ended right about here on it. Of course, Burton's rifle be pulling him off anyway, but he's pulling me on. Now, I'm not pulling him off, he's pulling me off. and then we fall off in the street. But the dangerous part of that is you get your leg through the wheel, this is gonna break it, tear you up bad. So most of my stuff is horse stuff, falling horses, falling off horses, not that bad.
I have a question. I heard that Betty Endicott occasionally would do a stunt, or did you have women doing actual stunts?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Michael or Dan?
Dippers and all them, yeah, they're Dipper family, yeah.
Patty Elder.
Huh?
Michael or Dan ever try to do that?
Oh, Michael always did his own twice, always. I followed Michael one
Pretty good.
time.
He was very athletic.
He was great.
And he liked, Michael liked to pick who he fought. I got beat up by Michael so many times I can't. That's how I would get little parts, is Michael's gonna beat me up tonight. You see me, you know he's gonna get beaten up. If it wasn't him, it was Dan. But it's kind of funny. I kind of played the same character. I almost had the same clothes on, the same mustache. I came back in different shows and did the same thing. You know, the bullwhips and 2 or 3 different ones, and I always got beat up. Maybe a saddle fall. Saddle fall is when you get shot out of the saddle. At 35 miles an hour, you wipe out. You better be hitting flat and rolling and everything. If you stick a leg or elbow, or if you reach for it, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna tear something up. And then the horse fall is where you ride your horse up. We've all had falling horses. They're trained. They do one thing. They fall. And I had one that absolutely loved to fall. This horse was a little bit crazy, but it just loved it. The trick is, if you never hurt them, then they'll keep doing it for you. But if you hurt them one time, now you got a real problem. They'll set up on you, fight you and everything. But what you do is you ride into the scene. You'll have you put out sand, and that's for the horse. They don't worry too much about us. I think if you're stupid enough to do it, whether you just, it's your problem. But you have a mark, camera set up right on that spot. You ride into it, you take the horse, which is, you run your hand down the rein, and you pull his head out and back, actually back to the hip. Takes the horse off his feet. He folds, because, well, if they fall to the left, right-handed people usually like to fall to the left. I wasn't very good at falling to the right. Because there's quite a bit of strength there, pull. When you try to pull his head, he's strong. And he doesn't want to give it to you. If he doesn't want to give it to you, you do a header like he did last night. And I mean, he'll pull you right up over his head. But he lays out, rolls his leg up, and lays down on the ground. And you come rolling off or stay down with him. As he goes to the ground, you raise your left leg. You have a rubber stirrup on that side, so it doesn't hurt the horse. Everything's about the horse. And you don't want to hurt him. And plus, there's humane people out there that will stop you in the park. But you just roll your leg up and come down on your side. Piece of cake. Saddle fall is another thing. And there's this saddle fall, the standing fall, in my opinion, was probably the worst. When you're standing still, get shot out of the saddle, come down, because you just drop right on your back or your hip or whatever, straight down. Where the other one's a glancing blow, and you roll with it, give to it.
We had another one, we had mother's vest on, we had a ring on her back and a cable on the back of the saddle.
It's called a jerk off.
And we had a couple, well, not this one, we took the saddle fall. We had a couple pegs up high, so if you got shot from the beginning, you would flip off the back of the horse.
Oh, the strap on the back.
They only did one with the Bonanza, for David one time.
Another fun one is it's done once in a while. It was done on Major Dundee. It was really a pretty big deal, and it was a vest with with. My man's looking at his watch. It makes me nervous.
Well, we're good.
I'm gonna take a 15-minute break. Food's coming out right at noon. So we've got, hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken coming out at noon. That's about half an hour from now. So we let them keep going for a few minutes, and then you guys can stretch your legs, look over here, take a pop of bread or whatever, and come back in and get food.
Wasn't this the most beautiful school teacher you ever saw? That was cool. I forgot, what was I talking about? I don't know.
Major Dundee.
Well, Major Dundee, it was called a jerk off, and you have the vest and you have the hook on the center of your back. They put a cable on that and run it back to Whitey Hughes. Whitey Hughes did the fall in there, and it was bloody. It was the angle of the wire is very, very important. If you're on horseback, what you want to do is elevate it, but not too far. If you elevate it too far, you'll come off and land on your feet. But if you have it too low, it's called a neck breaker. As a matter of fact, that's kind of the nickname for the whole fall. Because what you do is you get your horse way back here, you have a mark, which is the end of the cable, and you ride as hard as you can to that mark. You know you're about to take it. There's nothing you're going to do about it. And you stand up in the steps that Ray was talking about. They're metal steps. And sometimes you can spot that, and you take your feet out of the stirrups and you put them on the steps, and you get your lift, and you don't get hung up in the stirrups. But you run to the end of that, and it's going to hit you. Well, usually we put a bungee cord, a few wraps of bungee cord, slack in the cable, so that when it hits, it gives you a little bit of, here it comes, just briefly, and it softens the blow a little bit. Otherwise, it's like hitting a brick wall. Boom, you've hit the end of the cable. And yeah.
Did y'all, I never saw neck racing. Did y'all tell anything, a towel or anything behind your neck?
No, it's really, if it might show, you just try to stay off your head, you know, and I didn't do that too often. I mean, I broke my neck twice, and my back, I crushed the vertebrae in my back, and it's one of my problems to this day. But no, you really, I think Whitey and I think normally you tie it off to a tree or something up at a good angle. But I think with Whitey, they put a bunch of big guys in the back of a buckboard or something, or a truck, yeah, which made the angle too low. And when he hit that, it just snapped his head right into the ground, and it was not pretty. I never saw Whitey much after that. Yes, ma'am.
Did Michael ever get hurt doing one of his stunts when you were around?
Not that I know of. We see to it when he doesn't get hurt. I mean, that's a big part of our job. If you've got a guy, okay, that's my man, like Mitch or something. When Mitch is working, I'm looking. And if this is what I was talking about Michael yesterday, hitting that, what was it? Archway, yes. I asked him, I said, did you have a riding double or a stuntman for you? And he said, no, it didn't require that. But if they had been there, that's what they would have picked up on. You know, anything any way of him getting hurt, they will tell him, and they will stop him, and they'll stop the shooting, tell the director, that's not safe. They can't afford for these big stars, the whole show's about them. If they even just get a broken arm or an injury where they have to maybe be in a sling, it's hard to write it into the script because of the way they shoot things. They shoot the back first, and then the middle, and then they jump around. Well, now, part of those times he's in a cast or something. Who was it that did that?
Dan, that's what I.
Dan, that's right. Dan did that. And it's hard to write it into the script. It really is. You guys have anything else?
Let's see. I've done one back offs too, but I always did it without a cable.
Oh, well, that's where you roll on.
Yeah, and then the horse does this, you do it, and you go. I wouldn't say that. No.
Yeah, you roll back on that horse's butt, and he gets angry, and he sends you flying. That's called, describe that called, use
Well,
the
another one you see in the picture, you see the saddle drag, the guy gets off the
Oh,
horse
yes.
and drag. That's a cable run up your pant leg up to the whole thing, and it's got a, you notice the quiet ways behind the boat, the horse, they're not in the foot's not in the stirrup. It's out, they got a cable and they jerk that.
Pelican hook.
Yep. Once in a while, that cable will not
released. And that's the fact, the guy, Bill I had the first day I was here, was made, I can't remember his name, he was at the Pickwick, he made the Bill Center, the Pickwick, that stunt guy. He got killed at Disney, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Come around, his head hurt, he didn't cry.
Came along and drug him and Kurt, his head hit the boardwalk. Real nice young guy at the time. Am I talking in the mic? I guess I'm not. Okay. Sorry about that. Did you hear me?
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
What does?
You can make an actor of it.
I'm not gonna be an actor. Never.
Hey, Greg, did y'all use bits? Oh, I'm sorry.
You say?
I just want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
It's a testament to you guys. The fact you say you never got hurt, it's because these guys are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
Well,
I was just gonna tell him this, I used to double Danny DeVito, and I worked Batman Returns. And there's a scene down in the lair where he had to run down these stairs and jump into the duct. Well, they wanted him to use a mini tramp, which he's never done one in his life. I told him, no, you can't. I told the director, I told the assistant director, he's not gonna do it. And they got mad, and I said, it's too bad, you're not gonna do it. So I did, well, what can we do? I said, just raise up the bottom steps to be level with the others where he can run and just jump into it. He can do it by himself. And it took about 6 hours to do that. And I figured, well, that's probably my last day on the show, but it wasn't. I got away with it.
Did you get paid for that day?
Yes.
Talked yourself right out of a job.
No, I got paid. I got paid and stayed on the show.